it's not just about the achievement at the top. It's not just about the summit. It's also about who you're becoming along the way. If you've climbed or hiked a mountain, it's challenging. It's physically tiring, mentally draining, and it can be a challenge. In that challenge, in that friction, in overcoming discomfort, you grow as a person. In this video, I'm going to teach you exactly how to create massive goals and how to achieve them using an analogy of climbing a mountain. You're not going to want to miss this one. If you're new here, I'm Matt Chenard, leadership and business consultant. I help entrepreneurs take home $15,000 a month while only needing to work 4 hours a day, 4 days a week. Let's get into it. You want to reach your goals, but you don't know how to do it. Maybe you've created goals in the past in personal life or your business life. Maybe it's in the gym. Maybe it's for your marriage. Maybe it's for your business. Maybe it's professionally. If you have a corporate job, whatever it might be, goals help us move towards something. They give us purpose. They give us something to focus on. I think it is important to have goals, and people that don't have goals are more likely to have less purpose. I think, anyway, they are more likely to invest in poor habits, and it's just not as fun. But there's a way to do it where it doesn't become just about checking another box and feeling empty at the end of checking a box. I like to think about this as an analogy in terms of climbing a mountain. I'm a big fan of mountains. I'm a big fan of being in the mountains and hiking and mountain biking and just being around God's amazing creation, majestic rocks coming out of the earth. So I think about it in this way. If I want to hike a mountain, I want to summit. If I was mountaineering, whatever it might be, I'm not far from an expert mountaineer. If I want to summit this mountain, I would start at the base. I would be able to see the top, most likely. I'd see the summit. That's where I want to go. I'd point it and say, that's where I want to go. Now, what can happen, and if we think about this as in terms of a goal, you point to something, you say, I want to achieve that goal. I want to have $1 million business. I want to lose 20 pounds in the gym. I want to be able to deadlift 500 pounds. I want to travel around Europe. I want to travel around the world. Whatever the goal is, you point to it and say, I want that. I want to pursue that. What will happen is it's exciting. You can see it. You can visualize it. But if you don't go through the process I'm about to lay out for you in this video, chances of you succeeding in it are unlikely because you're going to meet friction. It's going to be hard to see that climb that to that summit. Not many people summit tall mountains, and there's a reason for that. Not many people fulfill their goals they set for themselves because they don't have the system. And also, it's hard, it's difficult, it's challenging. So here's what we do. We start with your vision. So why your vision matters, it helps orientate you in a direction of the person you want to become. So I think of a vision statement, purpose statement as something you want to be as a person, who you want to be, who you want to become. It's less about the metrics in this. It's more about, hey, I want to be this person. I want to be patient. I want to be loving. I want to be kind. Basically, the fruit of the spirit. I want to have character. I want to be more Christ-like. That's the person I want to be. So what you do is you start by defining a eulogy statement for yourself as a person. What this is you're going to write it down on a piece of paper and you're going to say exactly what you want someone to say about you at your funeral, if they're being honest. And what this will do is it'll help orientate you in a direction of the person you want to be in and day out. And it's not about being perfect. You'll be far from perfect in this. But as you pursue this idea, as you pursue these values, these character traits, you'll become closer to this person than if you didn't have this compass set out in your life. So you say, I want to be this person. And you'll write it as if someone else is reading it. Matt was this. Matt was this. Matt did this. He was this to these people. He was whatever you want to say. So that's where you're going to start. It focuses on character and impact, not just achievements. Because if you're just achievement focused, outcome focused all the time, it's going to burn you out, and it's not fruitful over time. And this helps define your daily actions and who you show up as in all your roles in life, professionally and personally. Then you create a 2 to 3 window of, and before I go on, you do this with your businesses too. What's the purpose statement? Why is your business important to be here? As an example, my gym business we've owned for just over 12 years now. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's something about we will make people holistically healthy and fit so they can enjoy their life more now and have a longer thriving and have more thriving years in the future. That's why we're here. That's why we push through the struggles. That's why we create what we create. We create programs that helps you pushing forward and helps you build a culture around that. There's also an exercise called the 3-year vivid vision. If you're curious about that, send me a message, comment below, send me an email. It'll be in the show notes. Okay, now you're going to create a 2 to 3 year window mission. So I'm certified business coach through Donald Miller. So if you're not familiar with Donald Miller, he coined the story brand. Basically, that everything is a story. Almost everything's a story. Good marketing, good sales, good leadership, inviting people into story. So you can use this formula that I teach people to help achieve the goals they want to achieve. What you do is you say, we will accomplish 3 economic goals, right? Because a business needs to profit in order to be in business for a long time and to help people. 3 economic goals that will lead to higher profit by a certain date, so that the purpose. So you have a target, you have a deadline, and then you have the purpose behind it. So that gives the weight, that gives the anchor to you continuing to push through to these goals. Target gets the team oriented in a direction. The date helps people accomplish it. So if you think of a movie, if someone had to dismantle a bomb and they didn't have a deadline to do that, there'd be no urgency. So you need to create a deadline for your team so there's urgency. You could say, I will grow, as an example, my business revenue by 50% and take Fridays off by 2025 to spend more time with my family and deepen my faith. That's an example. Okay, now you're going to break these down into milestones. So 12-month targets, you're going to create tangible, measurable objectives. So if we go back to the summit analogy, climbing the mountain, the 12-year target would be on the way to that summit. That's the ultimate goal. Or you could think of the summit as the 12-month target, rather, not the 12-year target. That's the target. Now, the milestones are checkpoints along the way. You could say, hey, I'm going to take a break once I reach that rock. I'm going to celebrate how far I've come once I've reached that bench. If it's a more relaxed hike, as an example, I'm going to mentally check and celebrate these milestones along the way. And I know that if I check these milestones every quarter, and if you're not familiar with quarters are, you just break up the year into 3-month increments to set different targets. You know that you have a high likelihood of achieving your goals rather. And part of this too is a principle by Dan Sullivan. He calls about the gap and the gain. Many entrepreneurs, high performers in general, will always measure themselves against an ideal, will always measure themselves against the summit in this example. Rarely will they look back, if they're not taught to where they started, the gain. We're always measuring ourselves against the gap when we should be looking back at the gain. So if you've climbed the mountain, you reach one of these milestones in the quarter, you'll look back and say, look at how far we've come already. Instead of looking and saying how far we have to go, look at how far we've come. So you can create quarterly milestones, smaller achievable steps that align with the 12-month goals. So don't focus on the summit all the time. Focus on the next step, the next checkpoint. Celebrate wins along the way. Then you're going to create daily and weekly actions, what I call deposits. These actions should align with achieving the overall mission. So if I wanted to grow my business, and part of that is marketing. To market, one of the best ways to market is through an email campaign, through email subscribers. To get email subscribers, you need to give value. You need to give something for free in exchange for someone's contact information. So you could say, maybe one of your milestones or maybe one of your goals in your business is to get 2,000 people on your email list. The daily actions for that could be posting organic content on social media to gain attention, to then once you gain enough attention, then you offer something for free. When you offer something for free that has high value, that someone solves someone's problem, they will give you their email and contact information in exchange for that free value, that lead magnet, as we call it. Then you have people on your email list to send them emails because people are more likely to see your email than they are to see you on social media. That's an example. Then what you could do daily is organic content and then create an email once a week so that when you have people on your email list, you can send them this nurture campaign for 52 weeks. And it's all automated. So those are things you can think about. If you think about this in a personal level, if you want to deadlift 500 pounds, you're going to have to go work out. You're going to have to eat well. Those daily actions, those daily deposits, eat more protein as an example, deadlift 3 times a week. I'm just throwing these out there. You don't have to write these down as ways to do that. I would have to know your goals in business and personal to help you do this. And if you're listening to this and you need help with this, send me an email. I'm happy to talk if I can help you grow your business. If I own a gym too. We do online programming. So feel free to reach out to see if I can help. So then curate your environment as well. Remove friction from you prioritizing these good things. I talk about the friction method either in a video I've already done or an upcoming video. Basically, what you do is you remove friction from prioritizing your good habits and add friction to what will prevent you from prioritizing those poor habits, or those good habits rather. Consistency over perfection. Just make the deposits. It's not going to be 100% every day, but show up 100% of the time. If you show up to the gym 3 times a week, but you have a 50% output in those 3 times a week, that's much better than showing up 2 times a week or 1 time a week and having 100% output in those days. It's not always going to be perfect. So small, consistent steps. Think about it in the analogy again. You're going to be stepping up to that summit. Count your steps, count your reps, gamify this. I have a tracker I use with my clients. You can use a pen and paper. You can mark it on your calendar. Celebrate those small daily actions. And then you're going to think about character development through the climb, through this process. Going back to the start of this episode, it's not just about the achievement at the top. It's not just about the summit. It's also about who you're becoming along the way. If you've climbed or hiked a mountain, it's challenging. It's physically tiring, mentally draining, and it can be a challenge. And in that challenge, in that friction, in overcoming discomfort, you grow as a person. So I actually think the benefit of defining and creating goals is not as much about the achievement as it is the person you're becoming along the way. And that's why you should be challenging yourself daily. That's why you should be creating goals. I think becoming stagnant is so dangerous, just even spiritually. Think about David in the Bible. He was complacent and he sinned, and a lot of good things did not happen from that. Bathsheba, right? If you think about that, his people were at war and he was just comfortable, and he should have been doing something of purpose and value. It's the struggles that will make you grow. It's the struggles that will refine you and develop you as a person. And this is not me saying that you can't relax, that you can't find comfort and enjoy these things. You should, but you should also have something that you can pursue daily. And that's why I believe that retirement isn't always a great thing, because you need to have something. Retirement in its true sense, meaning just what people say it is, just going on vacations all the time, just luxury and pursuing your passions. That'll get old over time. We're designed for purpose. We're designed to add value. Achievements are temporary, but the person you become leaves a lasting legacy. How you've impacted people will leave a lasting legacy. So reverse engineer your goals, start with your vision, your eulogy statement, define the mission, commit to daily actions, break those down to quarterly milestones. And then if you found this beneficial, share it with someone. If you haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to subscribe. That would mean a lot to me. If you find this one beneficial, YouTube will tell you that you might find these videos beneficial too. Until next time, earn your dopamine.